Welcome to Fircombe Railway, OO gauge. I've been inspired by fellow railway modellers on YouTube to create my own layout. I found following other modellers' builds on YouTube was not only interesting but highly informative for me, especially when they made mistakes and explained how they would do it better. I particularly thank Charlie Bishop for that. I followed Richard Warren from Everard Junction, new build, from the beginning. It is still in development and well worth looking at. Charlie Bishop, Chadwick Model Railway, has been very inspirational. The first contributor I watched was Dangerous Dave from Dave's Model Railway. Also, I must mention Dave at Dean Park Model Railway. All these are modelling gurus that beginners in the hobby might wish to follow. I will be giving shout outs to other contributors in future videos. As this was going to be my first proper layout, I wanted it to be relatively easy to model. I shied away from town scenes and stations, as I felt I really didn't have the skills or the confidence to attempt detailed modelling. A basic landscape with a double track and sidings, basic DC operation, basic rolling stock, no particular preference for a region or time period. And that's what I decided to model. That was until my friend Drew got involved. We decided together that Fircombe Hall will be based on a fictitious place on the south coast of England around 1944, just before D-Day. I've always had an interest in military history, as my grandfather fought in World War I and my father in World War II. My dad served in the Middle East and Italy until he was invalided out with shell shock, PTSD to you younger people, around 1945. He was the gunner and wireless operator in tanks, mainly Shermans. To give the layout a personal connection with my father, I decided to include Sherman tanks. I watched clips from various layouts and was inspired by the work of Peter Goss. His layout, Roland's Castle, lit the touch paper, so to speak. I would also like to mention Jim Hancock's battle stations, depicting the D-Day build-up, and not forgetting the stunning Overlord by Chris Mead. All these can be found on YouTube. Another interesting layout is Southern Railway at Southampton Docks. It's still very good indeed and well worth having a look at. I saw this map of Kinnelly Ammunition Depot and decided I would try and model a World War II military storage depot preparing for D-Day. After visiting Samfire Hoe, I thought what a wonderful place to set a military depot in. So my backdrop would be cliffs with a main line running at the base, just as it is at Samfire Hoe. Obviously, this actual location would have been very vulnerable in World War II. A similar location, like the chalk pit at Bluewater Shopping Centre, made strategic sense, well for me anyway. Now, getting photos of secret storage areas was somewhat limited, but I found a few on the internet. As it was wartime blackout, I did not have to consider lighting on the layout. Now, Drew designed an excellent storage yard with head shunt for trains to offload material. Woolwell wagons carrying Sherman tanks would of course be on my stock list. The Warwell wagon was constructed specifically to transport Sherman tanks across the UK. Shermans were too high to fit into many tunnels, so a lower piece of rolling stock was manufactured. They're still used to this day. Other smaller tanks and other military vehicles were often carried on war flats and Great Western Railway crocodile wagons. After lengthy discussions with Drew, he came up with a complete plan. I had no real idea what I was doing, but I trusted Drew and went along with his suggestions. Fortunately, Drew kept them from me. He persuaded me to go down the DCC route and have remote point and signal control. His plan was to lead me gently through the build, stage by stage. So now I will hand over to Drew so he can explain his master plan.
On white horses let me ride away to my world of dreams so far away. Let me run to the sun, to a world my heart can understand. It's a cheerful, warm and wonderland far away. Stars away, where the clouds are made of candy floss. As the day is born, when the stars are gone, we'll race to meet the dawn. So when I can only see the gray of a sad and very lonely day, that's when I softly sigh. On white horses, snowy white horses, let me ride away. Where the clouds are made of candy floss, as the day is born,